All right, I want to put this video together for you to understand how the arm really works in elite pitcher. We're going to go over some science that really gives you the better understanding, or to really give you some validity behind this understanding. But the way the arm truly works in elite pitcher is it's a force regulator or a funnel of energy. It times the release of energy. It's not best used as a force generator. Methods that want to train the arm as a force generator, I truly believe, and the science is showing that those methods are plagued by injury. So you really need to learn how the arm works more as a funnel, because it can still throw hard, release elite energy, and it won't have the issue of torques and injury behind it. So let's look at this study. This is going to help us understand how it works. This study looks at the biomechanical changes at different levels of the game: youth, high school, college, professional. Internal rotation velocities here, degrees per second, and ball speeds, meters per second. That's what I want to look at. We're looking at basically the arm speeds to the ball speeds. From the youth level to the high school level, 6,900 degrees per second to 6,800 degrees per second is the averages. So we see the arm speeds are going down as the ball speeds go from 28 meters per second to 33 meters per second as they go up. So we're seeing actually arm speeds isn't really driving the ball speed in this case. Now when we go from high school to college, it goes up, 6,800 to 7,400. As ball speeds go from 33 to 35 meters per second. So we do see it go up there. But now at the college level to the professional level, we see 7,400 degrees per second to 7,200 degrees per second as ball speeds go from 35 to 37 meters per second. We see it go up. So it's showing that the arm speed doesn't have really a strong correlation to the ball speed. Specifically, if you've got college athletes trying to go into professional, or you have youth athletes trying to go to high school. Let's look at the next one. This shows internal rotation torque at different levels of the game. Professional pitchers, based on body weight, put the least amount of torques on the arm, even than youth pitchers. So this is showing you really to get to the elite levels of the game on both of these studies. Those who can don't really rely on the arm speeds, specifically can put less torques on their arm, are more probably going to survive the workloads that we know that increase as we move to the professional level. And so how do we do that? It's understanding how we use the arm as a funnel or force regulator as opposed to a force generator. So how does that work? We all know the layback or external to internal rotation is the arm movement, right? That's the big arm movement. And we all know that layback correlates to ball velocity. But the misconception is the layback correlates to the ball velocity because it's like the stretch before release, right? It's the torque. It's all that torque we must be building to fire the ball and put the speeds on the ball. That would be a more generator approach, a more arm-based approach. Really the better way to understand it, and this would be an alternative to understanding how the arm is a force generator, is understand how it's a force regulator. How is it a force regulator? The layback is more the ability to give the trunk time to go forward. So for example, if my arm's only going to lay back this much, then it's going to want to release earlier, and it's going to not allow my trunk and that movement to travel and push all the force towards the target. If my arm lays back completely into a full layback, now my trunk has all this time to push forward before the arm goes into release. So therefore, the external rotation is really a mechanism to delay the end of the whip, to give the meat of the whip more time to push the energy forward. There's another indication in biomechanics that that is the case, because the arm in a typical arm path goes from external rotation to extension, then back to internal rotation. So if the arm was strictly a generator, it would just go external rotation to internal rotation. It is not. That's why most pitchers finish at extension before internal rotation, because the extension is the energy coming up the trunk at the point of release, proving that it is a force regulator, and that's going to be the healthier approach. So really, you can train velocity in two ways. You can train the arm as a regulator, or you can train the arm as a generator, or you can train the arm as a regulator, allowing it to release the trunk energy. Now, ultimately, we're going to do it both, but we're going to put way more of an emphasis on the regulation of the arm. And what it means by regulator is if, say, you don't have a lot of energy coming up, yes, it can kick in and generate. That's why we still do need to understand that the arm has to have strength and integrity to generate force, but we don't want it to be the sole generator of force. We really want the trunk to be the sole generator force. And that's why this study that showed that pro pitchers put less torque on the arm, the correlation to this occurring was delaying the trunk. The more you delayed the trunk, the less torque was in the arm, because when you delay the trunk, you push more trunk through, or energy through the trunk, therefore the arm has to do less work to generate that energy. And that's the top velocity approach, is learning how to use the whole body, get energy from the ground up, and turning the arm into a force regulator, not a force generator.